right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Jess, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Brian Batko in a matter of moments. And we're taking your phone calls tonight at 412-575-2600. Obviously talking Steelers because Brian is one of the best Steelers insiders around. You can see he works for the Post-Gazette. He has it right there on his shirt. Hey, Brian, by the way, I don't know about you, but out of the two foods that we just saw, I want that Taco Bell pie, the Baja Blast. I loved Mountain Dew growing up. I don't drink it as much anymore, but I would 100% eat that. I don't know about the apple pie, macaroni and cheese. I'm not into that. But the Baja Blast pie, for sure. I'm getting it.
Rich, we could probably do the entire first segment of the sports call on this if we wanted to. Yeah, I'm with you. I would try the Baja Blast pie for sure. Love a good Baja Blast. I love key lime pie too, actually. I think it's an underrated dessert. The Kraft mac and cheese, as soon as they put that on there, the apple pie flavored, I'm like, I don't know about this one. But then, I don't know, have you ever had a grilled cheese with apple slices on it? It's actually pretty good. So maybe it'd be worth a shot.
No, I never had it, but I know people do dip apples in cheese, so maybe it kind of makes sense. Yesterday we saw, I think it was cabbage-flavored soda water. I'm not into that, but no. I'm 100%. I'm going to run, not walk to Taco Bell. Hopefully they don't sell out because I'm going to get one of these.
Is this a safe space for me to say I actually already checked the ones near me yesterday to see, and they weren't available yet, but maybe they will be now.
Well, there's one in Penn Hills, kind of by where I live. I'm not going to stop tonight because I got to get to L.A. tomorrow, just like you.
Yeah.
But definitely will stop when I get back. All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. This is our Xfinity tweet of the night, and this is from Sportsnet Stats. Sidney Crosby's 11 goals are the most through a player's first 15 games of a season among players that are 38 or older in NHL history. These are some good stats here, Brian. I still think that's pretty impressive, 11 goals for Sidney Crosby. I think it's more impressive that this team has 20 points right now because, you know, I thought the Penguins were going to be in rebuild or retool or whatever you want to call it mode. And right now, they have the second most points in the NHL. Now, I don't know if it's going to last, but I still think there's no question that this team is potentially a playoff contender right now.
Yeah, and with the way that Crosby is playing, I mean, it's one of those deals where you feel like the window's always at least slightly ajar as long as 87 is out there and doing what he's doing right now. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. When you brought up that stat specifically, the age-related one, it's like, man, right now, both teams in action at PPG Paints Arena and Acrisure Stadium are getting a very high level of play from two pretty old guys relative to their sports, but two of the best to ever do it. And, you know, they've got fans feeling pretty good, or at least better maybe than they expected coming into their respective seasons.
Yeah, it was a great game last night. I don't know if you watched the entire game, but, you know, my question to you is who would you rather have? Would you rather have Sidney Crosby or Ovechkin? I mean, who would you rather have on your team? I think Sidney Crosby is by far the better overall player, but Ovechkin, you can't argue he's the best goal scorer in NHL history.
Yeah, I mean, it probably depends how your team is constructed and what you need for it. But I think in general, all things being equal, or at least with the Penguins and the team that they have right now with so many young guys trying to contribute, I think Crosby is the guy I would take in that one-for-one scenario there, Rich.
All right, before we take any phone calls here tonight, I do want to ask you, did the Steelers make a mistake not trying to get another receiver in here?
I think they tried. I think they did try, and I think there's a sense that Omar Khan wasn't aggressive enough to get one this week from a lot of fans. But I would say this, I feel like he was aggressive in trying to get a good deal, and a good enough one did not materialize for him. Like whether it was Jacoby Myers, Rashid Shaheed, or someone who didn't even end up getting moved, I feel like those are the types of names that Omar Khan would have been happy to acquire them for the Steelers, but only at a dirt cheap price because it's always a balancing act of your current team and what you need for your future resources to build teams down the line. And that's the way it is for basically every front office. I mean, the Colts were the all-in team this year, but if everybody just thought about, hey, the only thing that matters is winning in this very season, then half the league every year would be trading their first-round pick to get someone who's proven NFL caliber.
You know, when you have a team that's multiple personnel and you spread the ball around as much as the Steelers do, you can't really blame Jacoby Myers. If he was given the choice between the Steelers and Jaguars where to go, he's looking for a contract, and that might be his best option.
Yeah, for all we know, the Steelers were willing to match that 4th and 6th round price. But even if they were, matching that, maybe they do leave it up to the player, and he says, "Oh, go to the place with good weather and a little more opportunity right now in the passing game." And let's be honest, I think if you're the Raiders and you're looking at that, who do you think is going to give you a better draft pick next season? Is that pick going to be higher coming from Pittsburgh or higher coming from Jacksonville? I know the Jags are off to a nice start with Trevor Lawrence, but we'll see if they can keep that going.
Yeah, you never know. Let's got to Dan in Churchill. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing good, Richie. I don't really have a question. I just want to give you a huge shout out. I got to see the real Richie the other night at the LLS walk downtown, and you're a caring human being, and I want to thank you for your support of that event.
Hey, thanks a lot, Dan. I appreciate the call. It means a lot. My dad passed away of leukemia, and it's tough. It's tough to talk about him, and I was the MC for the Light the Night Walk, which is a tremendous event. Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, they raise about $1 million from just that one event. So it's an awesome event, but it's also a sad event, too. And yeah, I could hardly, Brian, I know you weren't there, but there were a lot of people that were, and people have reached out to me, but I couldn't get through the MC without breaking down because it makes me think of my dad. So
yeah, I was just going to say, good on you, Rich,
yeah.
And yeah, thanks, Dan, for sharing that, for sure.
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. I appreciate it. Let's go to Josiah in San Antonio. How you doing, Josiah?
Well, yourself, Rich. Hey, Brian. Rich, I had a couple points. That was a terrible pickup with that receiver. Kind of feel like it's going to be something similar like Mike Williams when they got him from the Jets. It's a nothing burger, bro. That receiver that they got on the practice squad is terrible. But I had two bigger points. Number one, why is Watt so stubborn? I mean, you see Jalen Ramsey moving around on the field. Why can't Watt just look around and say, look, Ramsey's moving around. They're moving away from me. Let me move away from this side of the field so I can get better stats. And my other point, why isn't I'm sorry, I went blank. Oh, why isn't Ben Roethlisberger why isn't he getting enough credit? Okay, he had on the podcast the other day, he said that Rodgers got more receivers than he did on his final year. Why aren't you guys talking about that, or you think it's not a big deal?
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. I'm sure you saw it, Brian, where he said all he got was a center that never played center before, referring to Kendrick Green.
I think I was the one who brought that to light, actually.
Were
Rich,
you really?
but, yeah.
That was a failed experiment. Well, good job by you. That was hilarious, I thought, too. But, he did have good receivers throughout his time here. And, when they had the good receivers and the good running back, they couldn't win the big game.
To be very clear here, he was talking specifically about final seasons, assuming this is going to be Aaron's last ride. And, Ben was sort of tongue-in-cheek saying this, and everybody was thinking it was such a shot at Kendrick Green. Let's be honest. I think it was more so a shot at Kevin Colbert, the GM at that time, who was making that draft pick, or really anybody who was in charge of, trying to secure a new center for Ben that season. He was actually pretty complimentary of Kendrick Green at times when they were playing together, and even saying the guy would be a really good guard if he were playing there. But he wasn't. It's kind of water under the bridge, but clearly Ben's still a little bit bitter about the way that all ended for him. And, hey, everybody wants to go out on top. So, yeah, that's, one aspect of it. We'll take Josiah's other points. First of all, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he might not give you much more than Mike Williams did last year, but there's a big difference there. Mike Williams cost you a 5th-round pick. Marquez Valdes-Scantling cost you nothing. He's a spot on the practice squad right now. I know there's this perception out there, too, that Aaron Rodgers is the whole reason he's here, and he basically handpicked him and told the coaches to bring him in. And maybe that happened, but I don't think MVS said that. I think he just said, I chose to sign here and come to Pittsburgh, where I have zero connection other than the quarterback here because of his time with Rodgers in Green Bay.
But, when we talked to Rodgers on Wednesday, he said he had nothing to do with it. So
right, and Tomlin said that too, and then people were like, oh, well, MVS said, somebody said, what brings you here? And he's like, this guy next to me. I took that more as I wanted to come here. He convinced me to sign with the Steelers, not necessarily. He said, hey, I got your back. They're going to give you a call. Be ready.
The other difference, I know you don't have to give up a draft pick for him, but the other difference here is he had a rapport with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And I think that's going to go a long way into maybe him being have more production than someone like a Mike Williams did last year.
Yeah, and Williams was on his last legs. I mean, the Steelers would be facing him Sunday night because he signed back with the Chargers this offseason, but Mike Williams retired, so he had gone through a ton of injury issues. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had a calf injury pop up last month, and that's why he ended up getting released by the Niners, but seems like he's healthy now, so maybe he's got a little bit more juice. The other thing that Josiah asked about was TJ Watt being stubborn. I mean, maybe he is. I don't necessarily disagree, but I'll just make the point that I think it's easy to be stubborn when you're leading the NFL in sacks 3 seasons in your career and you've got a Defensive Player of the Year award to your name, probably should have had a second one. That, I think, is where it comes down to, like, hey, I want to stay where I'm at. It's working for me.
Yeah, and teams are running away from him. So it's working for the Steelers defense, too. But I wouldn't mind seeing him moving around. And he does move around a little bit, but, you know, fans want more, right? So now to our Ireland contracting, Penn West University question of the night. Just scan that QR code. Who will win Sunday? Steelers, Chargers. Right now, a lot of people think the Steelers will win that game, 64%. The Steelers are 2.5-point underdogs in that game. We got to take a break. Back to wrap things up coming up next. Stay right there. All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Not a lot of time here, but I do want to read a tweet from Ryan. Do you think MVS will come off the practice squad sooner rather than later? I think Brian, I don't know what you think, but I think it depends on Roman Wilson's play here in the next couple games.
Yeah, I don't think that they'll bring him up for this game. I mean, he's only been here for, I guess, 3 practices now, but maybe by that Bengals game next week where you might need to get the offense going if Joe Flacco plays like he did in Cincinnati.
All right, real quick, we don't have a lot of time. Give me your prediction for Sunday's game. We're both leaving for LA tomorrow morning. So what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it could go either way. I don't feel great about it, but I'll take the team that's at home, doesn't have to make that trip across 3 time zones, and has Justin Herbert. Give me Chargers 27, Steelers 26, Rich.
Wow, okay. I got the Steelers winning this one, 27-24. Our audience has the Steelers winning by 64%.
They always do after a win.
They do. All right, thanks a lot, Brian. We'll see you next week. I'll see you out in L.A. Hopefully we see you guys over on KDKA News right now.